Mike waited for the right moment. He cleared the dishes, poured the wine. Then he slid his phone across the table to Sarah. $19,000. For both of them, all in. Flights, hotel, tickets, the whole thing. Sarah looked at the screen, then she looked at him, and she asked one question that Mike did not have an answer for. How are we paying for this? And in those 3 seconds, most couples make a decision that costs them a lot more than $19,000. Because the World Cup isn't just a trip, it's a test. And FIFA is using the most psychologically powerful phrase in the English language to make sure you fail it. That phrase is, once in a lifetime. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the World Cup actually costs a couple in 2026. The real number most people never run, and the one conversation that changes everything about how you and your partner make a decision like this. I'm Mike Miller. My wife Sarah and I have been having versions of this exact argument for years, and we finally figured out the move that changes it. This is Rich Together. Before we get into the math, and we are going to get into the math, I want to flag something about Sarah's question. How are we paying for this? Most people think that's a question about money. It isn't. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what she was actually asking and why the couples who hear it correctly are the ones who win, whether they buy the tickets or not. You've heard this phrase 1,000 times, once in a lifetime. Even though the World Cup happens every 4 years, it is the single most effective phrase in consumer psychology, and FIFA has turned it into a business model. Here is what that phrase does inside your brain. The moment you hear once in a lifetime, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for long-term planning, gets overridden by your amygdala, the part that processes fear. The fear of missing out. Behavioral economists call it loss aversion, and it's not a personality flaw. It is a neurological event your brain was designed to have. FIFA knows this. Dynamic pricing, countdown clocks, limited availability on ticket portals, prices that shift hourly based on demand and match stage. They are not selling soccer. They are selling the fear of not being there. And here's what that costs a couple in 2026. A mid-range World Cup trip, 3 matches, 2 cities, 8 nights, flights, food, transport, runs approximately $9,400 per person. For a couple, that's $19,000. Hotels across host cities are up more than 300% on match nights, according to The Athletic. That is not a price. That is a psychological weapon. But here's what the once-in-a-lifetime machine isn't telling you. It happens every 4 years. Sarah said that. 5 words. She was right. The World Cup is not a comet. It has happened every 4 years since 1930, with one exception for a world war, and it will continue happening every 4 years for the rest of your life. Once in a lifetime is not a fact. It's a sales strategy. But, and I need you to stay with me here, wanting to go isn't wrong either. Cornell psychologist Thomas Gilovich has spent decades studying this and finds the same thing consistently. Experiential spending produces longer-lasting happiness than material spending. The memory compounds emotionally in ways a new car simply does not. So, the partner who wants to go is right, and the partner pumping the brakes is right, which means the fight most couples are having is the wrong fight entirely. This is exactly what happened in our house when the 2026 schedule dropped. I had been building my case for 3 weeks. I researched the host cities. I found tickets in a reasonable tier before the surge. I sent Sarah 17 texts, articles, highlights, cost breakdowns. I waited for the right moment, cleared the dishes, poured the wine, slid my phone across the table. She looked at the screen. Then she looked at me and said, "How are we paying for this?" I did not have an answer, not because I hadn't thought about the money. I knew where the $19,000 was coming from. But Sarah wasn't asking about the account. She was asking about the plan. What gets delayed? What does this cost us? Not just now, but later. I had 17 tabs of research on the trip. I had 0 tabs on that question. So let's run the number Sarah was actually asking about. $19,000, 2 couples, same income, same starting point. Scenario 1, the Garcias. The Garcias go. They love it, genuinely. The experience is real. The memory is real. They put the $19,000 on a credit card. They plan to pay it off. Life gets in the way. They carry a balance at around 21% APR, the current national average, per the Federal Reserve, and pay it off over 3 years. Total paid, $25,700. Wealth built, 0. Scenario 2, the Coopers. The Coopers have the conversation. They decide, together with full information, that they are not going this year. They take that $19,000 and invest it. Index fund, 10% average annual return, the historical average of the S&P 500 over the last 50 years. 20 years later, that $19,000 is worth $127,800. One decision, one conversation. The 20-year gap between those two couples, $153,500. One World Cup, one conversation, $153,000. Now, and I want to be very clear, I am not telling you to not go. The Garcias might have the greatest memory of their marriage. That is a real and legitimate outcome. The point is, they never ran the number. They made a $153,000 decision in a moment of once-in-a-lifetime urgency, and they didn't even know that was the decision they were making. Here is what I want you to hold on to, because I'm going to come back to this at the end, and it is going to reframe everything you just heard. There is a version of this math where the trip actually works, without the wealth gap. I'll show you exactly how in a moment. Here is what nobody in personal finance is telling couples about the World Cup. The goal is not to say yes or no. The goal is to have the right conversation first. Most couples treat big financial decisions like a negotiation. One person wants something, the other has objections, someone wins, someone gives in, and the one who gave in carries it, quietly. Sometimes for years. That is not a financial problem. That is a communication problem wearing a financial costume. Wanting to go is not really about soccer. It's about the experience of being somewhere extraordinary together, the memory you tell for the rest of your life. Not wanting to spend the money isn't really about frugality. It's about safety, about not trading a future for a weekend. Most couples are expressing the same underlying value from completely opposite directions, and neither of them says that out loud until they run the number together. Here are the 3 questions Sarah and I use now for every decision like this. Question 1. What does this cost us in 20 years? Run the actual number, not a gut feel, a real figure, compounded forward. Question 2. What does saying no cost us right now? Not financially, relationally. If one of you really needs this, what does skipping it do to the partnership? Question 3. Is there a third option? Not a go versus not go. Is there a version that honors both of what you're actually asking for? For the World Cup, the third option might be a scaled-back version of the experience. One game, one city, dramatically lower cost, a fraction of the full trip. The memory is still real, the wealth gap shrinks with it, and it's a decision made together with open eyes. The once-in-a-lifetime machine wants you to choose between all or nothing. That is a false binary. Most of the time, there is a third door. I told you at the start that Sarah's question, "How are we paying for this?" was not about money. Here's what she was actually asking. Have you thought about what we're trading for this? Have you thought past the trip to the life we're building? That is the question underneath the question. When I finally heard it that way, not as a no, but as an invitation to think about this together, everything changed. We didn't fight about the World Cup. We had a conversation about what we were building, and the World Cup was just the thing on the table that night. Here's your one move. Tonight, not this weekend, tonight, sit down with your partner and run the number on one decision you've been circling. It doesn't have to be the World Cup. Any big experience, any big purchase, any conversation you've been putting off. Run the number. 20 years, 10%, see what the decision is actually worth at the end of the road. Then, ask Sarah's question. Not can we afford it? That question has a bank account answer. Ask, what are we actually trading for this? And is that a trade we're making together on purpose with open eyes? That is the conversation most couples never have, and it is the only one that matters. If this is useful to you and your partner, hit subscribe. We put out a new video every week, built for couples who are building something real together. Go talk about it tonight.